श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ओम सहनावतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ननु आत्मनः आभूत संप्लवस्थायित्व पक्षे नित्यत्वक्षे च दृष्टादृष्ट दुःख संभवा तद भयेन शोचामि इति यथा आह द्वितीय श्लोकेन. So now see, if you accept the Atma to be born once, Atma to be born once, then there is no fear of the sorrow of future. But if you accept the self to be Atma to be eternal in the sense from the beginning of creation till the end of creation, that is the eternity we are talking about. So if you accept the Atma to be from eternal from the beginning of creation till the end of creation, then you are going to be born again and again. After every death you are going to be born and again. Now what is the cause of the next death? What determines next death or next birth? The next birth, the birth and death is determined by your prarabdha karma, your karma. And what is this karma? This karma is something which you accumulate in this birth. So the prarabdha karma is the karma of the past births. Okay. Now if I am going to kill these people in this birth, this karma is going to torture me in my future birth. Somehow or other, in some future birth, it's going to torture me. So that is why I am worried. I am in sorrow. If you say even that is not necessary, to answer this, Bhagavan says, Jatasya dhruva murtyur dhrum janma tasya cha tasmada pariharyarthe natvam shochitam arhasi. See, if you are born, you are going to die definitely. If you are dying, then you are going to be born definitely. Therefore, something which you cannot abstain from, something which cannot negate, that in those things there is no, you cannot negate this, you cannot escape from this. In things which you cannot escape from, there is no point in worrying about. So this is what Ramana Maharshi says when somebody gives him a piece of paper and asks him to write an answer for his mother. When his mother asks him to return to the house, he writes that which will happen will definitely happen. Try how much ever to prevent it. That which will not happen will never happen. Try whatever you can to make it happen. Therefore, being quiet is the only option. That is the best thing to do. That is what he writes to his mother. So, whether something is going to happen or not happen, that will be definitely going to happen or not happen. You cannot escape from that. So, that is what Bhagavan says here. He yasmad jatasya sakrita dharma dharmadi vashat labdha sharirendriyadi sammandasya sthirasya आत्मनः ध्रुवः आवश्यकः मृत्युः शरीरादि विच्छेदः तद् आरंभक कर्म क्षय निमित्तः संयोगस्य वियोगः संभवात् वियोग अवसानात्. Yasmat, he, definitely, because of which jatasya, for a person who is born. Why is he born? Swakrita dharma dharmadi vashat labda sharirindriyadi sammandasya. Because of one's own punya and papa, one is bound by or associated with the body sense organ complex, that sthirasya atmana, for that atma which is eternal from creation till the end of creation, dhruvaha avashyakah, definitely this will happen. What will happen? Mrityuhu, for one who is born, who has taken the body sense organ complex, for him death is definitive. So death means that shariradi vichchedah, getting rid of that body sense organ complex, getting separated from that body sense organ complex, that is definitive. Tad arambaka karmakshe nimittah sanyogasya, Viyoga avasanatvat. Sanyoga is the association with the body is because of the karma called prarabdha karma. The karma which is the cause for this birth, experiences thereof, and the life, the period, the time period of that body. So all these lifespan we can say. So all these three, your experience, your lifespan, and the kind of birth you have to. All these three are fixed by prarabdha. That's a package. Now, because of which you are associated with the body sense organ complex, and that association cannot be removed unless and until you remove the prarabdha. And the association is a Viyoga avasanat. Only possible, the association can only end when there is a separation between these associateds. Your Atma is associated with the body sense organ complex. That association, to separate that association, you have to destroy the body or you have to destroy the Atma. Atma cannot be destroyed, the body can be destroyed. So that body will be destroyed only through the karma. So that karma disassociates the association between body and the self. So he says, Tata Dhruvam Janma Mritasya. And Mritasya, for a person who dies, Dhruvam Janma, he will be born again definitely. There is no escape. Prag Dekrita Karma Phala Upabhogartham. Why will he be born? To experience things which he has done, the experience, the karmas of the past birth which he has done. The good or bad karmas, whatever it may be. Sanushesya pratatvat. And we are talking about now. What do you say? For a person who dies, birth is definitive, imminent. Then there is a problem. Even the liberator will become born. Because you only said, for a person, Bhagavan says, for a person who dies, birth is imminent. No. You didn't understand. Sanushesya. We are talking about, Prastutatvat means, we are talking about means, this topic of discussion is about Sanushesya. Sanushaya means a person with Ashaya. Ashaya means karma. So, only a person who is associated with the karma, only with respect to him we are discussing. Therefore, Jivamukte Vibicharaha, na Vibicharaha, na Jivamukte Vibicharaha. In Jivamukta, this will not be carried forward. This logic will not be carried forward. He will die, he cannot be born. Because Bhagavan himself says in the later portion, Jnanagni sarva karmani vaspasat krute. The fire of knowledge destroys all the association with karmas. So, tasmat evam apariharye. Therefore, in this apariharya, that which you cannot escape, parihartum ashakya, that which you cannot pass off, which you cannot negate, which you cannot brush off, in that aspin janmara lakshane. In this cycle of birth and death, arthe vishaye tvam evam vidvan na shochitam arhasi. You, a person with such a knowledge, you should not be worried about such a thing in this world after knowing that you cannot negate this. You cannot escape from this. Tatasa vakshati. Bhagavan himself says in the later portion, Rite pitvam na bhavishyanti sarve iti. Rite pitvam, even without you, Rite pitvam, even if you are not there, na bhavishyanti sarve, none of them will escape. None of them will live ever. Even if you are there or not. See, Bhagavan says clearly that the opponent whom you think you are killing, whether you are there or not, it is immaterial. You are instrument for the killing, that's all. I don't need you as an instrument. I can put somebody in that place and I can kill them. Like we use the pawn or the horse or the soldier or the elephant, etc. to kill the opponent's in the chessboard. To kill the opponent's coin, we use these kind of small things to kill a queen or to have checkmate. We use these small things. Similarly, I can bring in anything there in this place of you. Anyone. This is what happened in the case of Vivekananda. Vivekananda was not really Vivekananda till the time of, till the experience of Shir Bhavani. During the experience, see, these people, they say, no, oh, I am just an instrument. I am just instrument of God. That is the biggest ego, I can say. You cannot see any big ego other than that. I am just an instrument of. If you are instrument, why do you have to say all that? You don't need to be instrument. Bhagavan doesn't need you as an instrument. He can use anyone. You are replaceable for him. So you cannot claim yourself to be instrument and do things. Like this Vivekananda. Vivekananda, what happened to Vivekananda? Swami Vivekananda was in this Shir Bhavani. He was having this darshana of Shir Bhavani goddess. And after that, he was very disturbed because the whole place is destroyed. And he was such an angry man. He said, if I was there, I would have killed all those enemies who were about to destroy this temple. Oh, Mother Goddess. Like that, after praying this, he came and sat in this hall or something, and he was just in a stupor. At that point of time, Goddess came in his dream and told, do I need you to destroy the enemies? People, if I wish to protect this temple, do I need you? I can use a small grass from here to destroy the enemies. I don't need you. That is the awakening. At that point, Vivekananda became Vivekananda. After that, he stopped all his tours and all that. He started giving classes to brahmacharis. So, here, iti rutepitvam, even without you are replaceable. Any of us here is replaceable. Even without us, things will take place. So, iti, what does that mean? Yadi hi tvaya yuddhe naham na ahanyamanaha na ahanyamanaha ete jiveyuhu eva tara yuddhaya shokah tauchitasya. See, in the Yuddha, if you don't fight in this war, and if they escape death, then, as you say, oh, you don't have any cause for worry. And if they are going to live ever, then shokah tava uchitah syat. Yuddhaya yadi jiveyuhu. If you don't fight, okay, I won't fight this war, I will just go away from this place of battlefield and I'll just sit quietly. If I don't fight, they are going to be alive. So, therefore, I don't have to worry about it. If you say, if that is going to be true, then your worry is valid. Because if you are in the battlefield, you are going to kill them, then there is a sorrow. True. But the reality is not so. Why? Ete tu karma kshayat swayam eva muryante iti. These people will die even without any effort from me or anyone. Here, you are there, you are going to take all the credits for killing them. Oh, Arjuna, he killed everyone single-handedly. You are going to take the credit for killing them. But in reality, their karma has come to an end and they will drop dead even without your weapons touching them. They are going to drop dead. So, karma kshaya, because of their karma coming to an end, swayam eva miyante, they will die automatically. Iti tat parihara asamarthasya tava, you cannot stop it. For a person who cannot stop it, that drushta dukkha nimitta shokah na uchita iti bhava. For you who cannot stop the their death, there is no reason for your sorrow in seeing these people dead. Drushta dukkha, meaning the perceived sorrow of seeing people, your own people, getting killed. There is no reason for that. Okay, true, but if I kill them, I am going to gain papa, sin. Therefore, adashta dukkha is definitely there. If you say, he says, evam adashta dukkha nimitte api shoke tasmada pariharyartheti eta utram. So for the adashta dukkha also the same answer. That you cannot prevent whatever is going to happen. Therefore, there is no point in worrying about it. That is the say answer is same. How? I'll explain. Yuddhakyam hi karma kshatriyasya niyatam agnihotra. See, like Agnihotram Juyat Varga Kamaha, Veda says one person has to perform, the Brahmin has to perform Agnihotra every day. Now, Agnihotra is a karma which should have to be performed niyatam means nityam, every day. Like Sandhyavandana, Ahara, Sandhyamapasita, every day he has to perform Sandhyavandana. We cannot escape Sandhyavandana, we cannot say, no, I don't perform Sandhyavandana because of this, and there is no excuse possible. You have to perform Sandhyavandana every day without fail. If you are initiated in the Gayatri Mantra, etc., you have to perform the karma. If you are eligible, you have to perform it. There is no reason for escaping that. If you have taken sannyasa, yes, fine, you can escape the Sandhyavandana. There is no bondage there. Now, if you have not taken sannyasa, you have to perform the karma because it is nitya. No, in my house there is a birth or death. Because death, birth, etc. are seen to be inauspicious, impure periods. So, in those periods, you should not be performing the karma. That you say, no, that is also not possible. You have to perform karmas even during that period. But the only thing is, you need not use the water. You sip water for the achamana, etc. There, you should not use any karma associated with water. You just have to, during the impure period or impure place, in the impure period or impure place, you have to perform the karma without using water, meaning you have to chant the mantra in the mind. So, he says, Yuddhakyam hi karma kshatriyasya niyatam. Similarly, you cannot escape this Sandhyavandana karma. Similarly, for a Kshatriya, this Yuddha, war, is a Niyata, it's a Nitya karma. He cannot escape. If you are invited for a war, you have to perform. And that is where Yudhishthira jumped into this war of playing this game, Ludo. He got caught in that game because he was invited for a war. And if he is challenged, if Kshatriya is challenged, he cannot run away from that challenge. He should not run away from that challenge. That is the rule. So he started gambling things. So, Tatra, Tacha, Yuddha. What is Yuddha? Yuddha means Yuddha Samprahare iti asmadhatoho nishpannam. The word Yuddha is from the root word Yuddha. Yuddha means Samprahare. Prahara means attacking. Samprahara means attacking nicely. So, iti Nishpannam Shatru Pranaviyoga Anukula Shastra Praharukam. What does that mean? Samyak Prahara means what? Nice, attacking nicely means using weapon of destruction, relieving the enemy, the association with the vital air. His association with the vital air, meaning killing him, using instruments, using weapons. That is what is a Yuddha means. Therefore, Vihitatva, that is what is Vihita. That is that karma, that killing of the karma, the killing of the enemy using weapon is enjoined. It's an injunction for you. Therefore, Agnijomiyadi himsavat na pratyavaya janakam. See, if you are going to perform this Agnihotra Juhyat Swarga Kamaha, it is said true. But what will I do Agnihotra with? Jyotishtomena Pashammalabhed, it says. Jyotishtomena. With for this Jyotishtoma is Agni karma. It's a fire karma. There, if you want to perform this Jyotishtoma, the yaga called Jyotishtoma, then you have to kill a cattle. You have to cut the cattle. You have to remove the heart. Asa jihvaya, you have to cut the tongue. Asa hridaye, then you have to cut the heart. In this way, you have to cut some important parts of the cattle and use it for fire oblation. You have to throw it in the fire, saying mantras. Now, killing of the cattle, though you are performing a very good deed of performing the karma enjoined by the Shruti for you, but still you are killing a living being. Therefore, you are going to acquire sin if you say no. Why? The place of performing the karma is called as Vedi. The place of performing the karma, Vedic karma, is called as Vedi. So, whatever killing is done in the Vedi, as enjoined by the scriptures, is something which will not produce pratyavaya. Na pratyavaya janakam, that is what he says. It will not produce pratyavaya. Pratyavaya means dosha, any sin. If you are going to kill something or somebody in the Vedi, inside of the Vedi, which is a karma which is enjoined by the scriptures, then you are not going to incur any sin. Outside of Vedi, if you are going to kill even a mosquito, then that killing of mosquito is a sin. You are definitely going to occur sin. There is no other escape. So, now for the Kshatriya, for this Kshatriya, Vedi is the place of battle. So, inside the battlefield, if he is going to kill someone, there is no sin. So, that is why he says, because it is an enjoined karma, it's an injunction for you. Therefore, Tathacha Gautama Smriti, this is what Gautama in his Smriti says. What does Gautama say? Na dosho himsaya, na doshaha himsaya, ahave anyatra, anyatra, vyashva, asarathi, anayudha, kritanjali, prakirna kesha, Parangmukha, Upavishta, Sthala Vriksharudha, Upavishta Sthala Vriksharudha, Duta, Go Brahmana Vadibhya iti. So, Na doshaha himsayam. If you are going to be violent with these things, himsayam, if you are going to trouble these things, it is not himsa. It is not a himsa. It is not accepted as it is na doshaya. It is not going to bring you any sin. Whom, if you kill someone in the battlefield, who is other than Vyashva? Vyashva means Vigata Ashva, one who is devoid of a person sitting in the horse. If he is devoid of a horse, you should not kill him. Vyashva. Okay. Then cavalry. If he is sitting in the horse, you can kill him. If he is not sitting in the horse, you should not kill him. Now, asarathi. If a person is sitting in a chariot and the chariot does not have a charioteer, then you should not kill him. Okay? Then, anayudha. If a person is not holding on to any weapon, you should not kill him. Then, kritanjali. If a person is standing in front of you with folded hands, you should not kill him. Prakirna kesha. If a person has his hair completely unlocked, then you should not kill him. Parangmukha. If a person is running away from the battlefield, you should not kill him. Upavishtaha. If a person is sitting on the floor, you should not kill him. Sthala. If this person is sitting in a tree, then you should not kill him. Then Duta, if a person is a Duta, Duta means if he is a messenger, you should not kill the messenger. Brahmana Vadibhya, if a person says himself, if he claims himself to be a Brahmin, you should not kill him. These are all the rules which are said in the Shruti. And this is what is called as Dharma. This is where these people who were fighting with people who don't follow any of this Dharma failed. In our tradition, so many Rajputs, they died because they followed Dharma, and their enemies, the Muslim kings or the British people, they didn't follow any Dharma. So, by following Dharma, they cleared their obstacle for going to heaven. Because if you are going to be killed in a battlefield, following all the Dharmas, you are going to heaven. So, they went to heaven. But they made everyone to their own people to enjoy hell. So, now that is also a sin. You are doing something which is not proper in a proper place. See, if you are doing things not proper in a proper place, if you are doing proper in an improper place, both are wrong. Right thing in a wrong place and wrong thing in a right place, both are wrong. These people did that. So, Gautama Smriti says, these people should not be killed. Brahmana grahanam cha atra ayodhru brahmana vishayam Gavadi Praya Pathaditi. See, Brahmin. You should not kill a person who claims himself to be Brahmin. Now, you are standing in front of Dronacharya, Kripacharya. They are all Brahmins. Now, how can you kill those Brahmins? We say, no. When we say Brahmin, we are talking about Brahmin who is not in the battlefield for fighting. If he has come to the battlefield for something else, that is a different. If he has come for fighting, then you have to kill him. Only those Brahmins who have not come to the battlefield for fighting, with respect to them we are talking about, because he is referred to with reference, he is associated with the cattle. So he is soft like a cattle, he is very simple like a cattle, meaning he is not a person who is going to attack you, that kind of person. Etacha sarvam swadharmamapi cha avekshetyatra spashtikarishate. Swadharmamapi cha avekshya, seeing it as your own karma, your own personal karma which you have to perform. Even seeing like that, you have to perform this. In that place, when Bhagavan is going to explain that in this shloka, Swadharmam apicha avekshya, in this shloka, he is going to very clearly explain this. So, tathacha yuddha lakshane arthe agnihotradi vad vihitatvad अपरिहार्ये परिहर्तुम अशक्ये तद अकरणे प्रत्यवाय प्रसंगात् त्वं अदृष्ट दुःखं भयेन शोचितुं नार्हसीति पूर्वत. So, therefore, in this battle, which is enjoined to you, like the Agnihotra karmas which are enjoined as an injunction, this battle, fighting a battle is enjoined for a Kshatriya as an injunction. Therefore, in this battlefield, in this battle, apariharya, which you cannot escape, parihartum ashakye, that which cannot be escaped, in that tad akarani. But see, if you are going to fight, then there is no, because it's your duty, you cannot escape. You have to perform your duty. Like the karmas said, Sandhya Vandana, it's your duty, you have to perform. This battlefield, fighting in a battlefield is your duty, you have to perform. Sandhya Vandana, there is no result, there is no punya. In battlefield also, fighting a battle also, there is no punya. But if you don't perform the Sandhya Vandana, or if you don't perform the fight, then there is a sin incurred called Akarane Pratyavaya. Akarane Pratyavaya, there is a Pratyavaya dosha, there is a defect, there is a sin. So, the fearing that Prasangatvat, fearing that Adrishta Dukkha Bhayena, if you kill them, you are going to incur sin. In this way, you don't have to worry. Na Shochitam Arhasiti Purvata. In this way, you have to associate with the previous statement. Na Shochitam Arhasi. You don't have to worry about killing them, fearing the sins for the next birth. Yadi hi yuddhakim karma kamyan. Because see, if it is a nitya karma, then nitya karma doesn't have any result. Akarane pratyavaya, if you don't perform, there is a result. And later people in the Purvamamsa, they use this Vishvajit Nyaya, Vishvajito Isati, there is no result enjoined for that karma. If there is no result enjoined for any karma, no one is going to perform that karma, even if it is said by Veda. So, this karma, where there is for this karma and for any karma which is karma which has to be performed, if the result is not enjoined, then we have to accept Swarga, heaven as the result. That is how they conclude. Now, if it is a Nitya karma, fine. But if it is a Kamya karma, that is why he says, if you accept the Yuddhakya karma, the karma to be Kamya karma, instead of accepting it to be Nitya karma, then no problem. Kamya matistyajatam. The Shruti says, Kamya in the Shruti and the Acharya etc. say, Kami karma should be avoided. Kami karma should be avoided by a person. So, now, he says, even if you accept it as Kamya, how? He says, Ahaveshyudhyante bhumyartham aparankaha akutai ayudai yanti te swargam yogino yatha. Yaha ahaveshu yudhyante, one who is going to fight in the battlefield, bhumyartham aparangmukaha, for the sake of the land, kingdom, aparangmukha, without running away from the battlefield, akutaihi, without having any cunningness, without playing any cunningness, ayudaihi, anti, ayudaihi, with weapons, if he is going to be killed, te swargam yanti, they are going to attain swarga. Yoginata, like the yogis, by performing the yoga, they attain swarga. These people also being killed in a battlefield, which is a kami karma, they are going to enjoy heaven. So, iti Yajnavalkya Vachanat. In this way, Yajnavalkya very clearly says that the result enjoined is a heaven. Hatova prapsyasi swargam jitva va bhakshase mahimiti. Bhagavad Vachanat. Bhagavan also very clearly established it is a win-win situation for you. If you are going to be killed in this war, then you are going to heaven. If you are going to kill the enemies in the war, then you are going to enjoy your kingdom. So, whichever way, either if you get killed, then you are going to enjoy the heaven. If you are going to kill the others, you are going to enjoy the kingdom. Similarly for them also. Because they are your enemies, this rule doesn't change. If they are going to get killed, they are going to go to heaven. If they are going to kill you instead, they are going to enjoy the kingdom. So, whichever way, it's a win-win situation for everyone. That is what Bhagavan said earlier. Tatapi, even though it is so, prarabdasya kamyasyapi avashya parisamapaniyattvena. See, there is another reason. See, kamya karma is a desire propelled karma. But there is a karma, kamya karma, desire propelled karma, which is not a desire propelled really. It is a prarabdha karma. It is your fate. You have to perform. This desire came because of your fate. So, therefore, you cannot escape that fate. Aparisamapaniyatvena. Since you cannot escape it, you cannot neglect it. Nitya tulyatvat. It is equivalent to nitya. Tvaya cha yuddhasya prarabdhatvat apriharyantvam tulyameva. So, because for you this yuddha, this fight is your prarabdha, your fate, you cannot escape it. You are destined. You have to do it. There is no escape from that. So, therefore, you have to fight this war. Atama. Atmanityatva ksheva. See, if you accept the Atma to be eternal, not eternal from the time of creation till the end of creation, but eternal. Like Vedanta. If you accept it from the standpoint of Vedanta, these two shlokas should be interpreted in a different way. He says, Yesha Pakshe, Yesha Shloka Dvayam Arjunasya Parama Astikasya Veda Vakshya Mata Abhyagama Sambhavat. Now, these two shlokas, which are talking about Arjuna, what kind of Arjuna? Parama Astikasya, person who is a complete believer. Astika means a person who believes. Believes in whom? God. This is a normal understanding. Atheist, theist. Theist means person who believes in God, superpower. Atheist means a non-believer. Now, if you accept the believer and non-believer idea, see again another thing. There is a logic. No? I believe, I am a believer, but my God is not a believer. I am a theist, but my God is atheist. That is how many of the gods in others' system is. But in our system, not only me, my God is also a believer. How? He is, see, in Vishnu Purana, you take Vishnu Purana, Vishnu is worshipping Shiva. In Shiva Purana, Shiva is worshipping Vishnu or deity. In Devi Purana, the Devi is worshipping Shiva or Vishnu. In this way, everyone is given some super status. So, here, in our system, even our God is a believer. But here, believer and non-believer doesn't reflect with reference to the God. Believing in Veda or non-believer of Veda. And Arjuna is a great believer of Veda. Parama Astikasya, great believer of Veda. Therefore, Veda Bhashya Mata Abhyamama Sambhavat. He cannot accept something which is followed by people who don't believe Vedas. Akshara Yojanatu. And how do you connect all the words in this way? if you interpret it in the standpoint of Vedanta, how will you connect all these words here? That is in this way. Nityaschasau dehendriyadi sambandhavashat jataschaiti nityajatah. Nityajata means that which is born ever. Means though the self is eternal, because of being associated with the limitation of body sense organ complex, it is seen as born. Nityajatah tam enam atmanam. That kind of self nityamapi santam, though it is eternal, jatam chet manyase. If you still think, because of the association body sense organ complex, if you still think it is born, or tatha nityamapi santam mritam chet manyase, or though being eternal, if you accept it to be it to die, then be destroyed, then tathapi, even then tvam nanujochitam arhasi iti hetumah. You should, there is no reason for you to worry. Why? The reason is said jatasya ityadina. For a person who is born will definitely die. For a person who is going to die will be definitely born. Therefore there is no reason for any worry. Nityasya jatatvam mritatvam cha prardakhyam pravyakyatam. So the self which is eternal, the self being accepted to be born as though it is born, or being accepted to be dead as though dead, is already explained, was already explained in the previous shlokas. Spashtamanyati. The rest of the shloka is very easy to understand. Bhashyimapi aspin bhakshe yojaniyam. You have to read the bhashya and understand whatever is said in the bhashya with respect to these shlokas. He says this, and you see. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.